Hey guys, what's up? It's Kevin for the win, and we're back for another edition of Monster Hunter Rise. Today on the channel, we're going to be taking a look at one of the endgame mixed armor sets for the heavy bowgun. We're going to be using Rachna Helm. You can see here pretty good resistances. It gives us spread up. The rest of those abilities were gemmed in for anybody that's questioning that. So pretty decent resistances. Nothing to really hit home about. We're also going to be using Magnamalo that gives us spread up as well, because you can see the heavy bowgun we're using is Sinister Raphlos Braces to give us attack up, Rachna Coil to give us more spread damage, and then we're going to be using Ignat Greaves S. That can be changed with some of the newer pieces of armor that just came out from the monsters. Keep in mind, like with all mix sets, this is just a recommendation. You can mix pieces that are not in here to get what you want out of your armor. Now, full stats, 256 attack, 10% affinity, 441 defense, 15 fire resistance, -5 to water. And you can see the rest of those minuses there. Now, when you break it all together, this is the skills that you're going to get. Attack boost 5, ballistics free, spread up free, recoil speed free, reload speed free. You can see we also have critical eye on here, steadiness. I'm going to bring them all up for you. Here you can see we have a plus 8% attack with plus 9 boost. Ballistics, they actually changed the name of this ability, but basically it extends the range, which helps for spread up. Spread up is exactly what it says here. It powers up spread ammo, shrapnel ammo, as well as spread ammo. Reload speed helps with the reload speed of the weapon. Recoil now means there's less of a recoil. Critical eye just means we get critical hit damage. Deviation basically means that when you fire the gun, it won't move around too much. Spare shot level 1 thanks to our talisman, and flinch free. Now, keep in mind, you could probably take out some of the gems if you want to forsake ballistics, which I don't recommend in particular, and actually put artillery in, or you can mess around with the boots to get some artillery. Really, it's not going to help too much in terms of clear times with your monsters, as well as long as you're hitting the head, you should be particularly fine. We are using the Magnamalo heavy bowgun because it gives us sticky level 3 ammo, which is really good at knocking monsters down. We're also going to be using spread ammo level 3 and shrapnel ammo level 3. So pretty much the strategy for this monster and every monster that you encounter is you're going to want to fire off some sticky shots on the face. Usually for smaller monsters, it takes about 2 sticky shots to implode, and it will knock the monster down. You could, in theory, if you want to, actually gem in KO to give you Slugger level 2, which will increase the chances of a monster being knocked down. In order to do that, though, you would have to sacrifice your precise gem, so you would have to lower the area of your extended range, because you would have to take out the precise gems in order to be able to work this in, unless you have a God Talisman with 2 level 2 slot charms. So first monster we're going to do this very easy monster, Great Azuchi. I'm going to see if I can charge up my sticky shot and get it to turn around. Hopefully, once it turns around, I'm just going to fire this in the face so we have a charged up shot. And as you can see, it dodged out of the way. That's one of the problems with sticky ammo. You could put on the set ammo load up so that you could get more shots to fire up, but I don't necessarily recommend it because you have to waste your slots. So as you can notice, I did put on the damage modifiers that people, or damage indicators that people have been asking for so desperately, so you could see your precious numbers. Obviously, if you don't see that you're doing yellow damage, you are in the wrong position, so just move back and try to find the sweet spot where you're seeing a whole bunch of numbers going off. So keep that in mind. The one good thing is, because we have a bit of range, we can actually use our spread ammo from this distance. And you can see the yellow hits are the critical hits. If we were using a ammo type that this monster is weak to, you would see blue damage over the yellow. That means it's super effective damage, so to speak. So keep that in mind. Okay, I'm going to try to switch to exhaust here to exhaust the monster a little bit. And then hopefully what I'm trying to do is set up a sticky shot. You got to aim directly for the head here, because if you don't get the head or near the head, you will not be able to knock it down. One more of these explosions, it should knock down after this. Which it does. Okay, great. So once you have the monster knocked down, what you want to do is, I'm going to get a little bit of spread off here. But you can also switch to clusters and fire clusters off. I want to just show you guys how much damage you're hitting with for spread first, though. So as you can see, this is a shotgun for all intents and purposes. So you have to be really up close and personal to do the maximum amount of damage. So I'm going to dodge out of the way here. I'm going to try to set up. Oh, okay, that's perfect. It actually knocked itself down, so we are going to go cluster bombs here. The good thing is, because we have ramped up this weapon with our rampage effect, we get extra cluster shots. So what you want to do is just go ham. Fire off as many of these cluster shots as you can while the monster's around. Obviously, if the monster's moving, you do not want to use your cluster bombs. So then go back to the same method as before. You want to fire off some sticky shots. Hopefully, you hit the head area. Usually, for smaller monsters, like I said, 2 sticky shots will usually knock out the monster. Obviously, you have to switch things up when you're fighting a monster. If you see the monsters this far away, I would recommend not using your spread ammo. Just go for shrapnel because you see how much damage we're just hitting for. All those yellow spots. This is the sweet spot when you have ballistics at level 3 for that in particular. Now, a good thing is you can move around while you're firing these things, so that helps quite a bit. Now we'll switch back to spread. Since we're at a good, decent spot, let's move our way to cluster bombs. We're going to fire off the cluster bombs. This is going to do a lot of damage when they drop, as you can see here. Look at all that damage, guys. And that's pretty much the great Azuchi has been taken out. That should be like probably a 4-minute clear time. If I had gotten off those sticky shots in the beginning of the match where it didn't like just dodge right out of the way, and we got the first 2 off, we'd probably have this somewhere down to about 3 minutes flat of a clear time. This is the basic principle that you are going to want to do with the heavy bowgun set for the Magnamalo. You want to, first off, get some stickies. Aim for the head. Make sure you can get those shots off on the head. Usually for small monsters, it's 2. For larger monsters, I would say on average between usually 3 stickies that you fire on the face and they all explode will usually knock down the monster. Obviously, you could gem in this set, but you'd have to take out Precise, which would lower your ballistics, so then you have less range on your ammo. You could, if you wanted to, gem in KO. 2 KO gems should give you Slugger, level 2, if I remember correctly. Alternatively, what you could do is if you have a God Talisman where you could get like recoil down and Slugger on it with at least 2 slots that are level 2 gems, you could actually fit more things in this set. Obviously, you're at the mercy of RNG when it comes to the talismans. Fortunately, they fixed the talisman glitch as of the 2.0 update, so we don't have to worry so much about getting really crappy talismans anymore. I've seen better ones drop from my experience right now. As you can see, I'm HR64 already. I did do pretty much all the new content already, for the exception of some of the double monster quests, which I'll be doing somewhere down the line. Okay, so we're going to do another monster here because I wanted to show you a larger monster that generally would give us a little bit of issues when we're fighting it. So as you can see here, we're kind of upping the content a little bit. I believe we're going to be fighting a Mitsuni. So this one is a much more mobile enemy. Mitsuni's tail, in particular, can really give us a bad day. But it's a good example for showing this particular armor set and what it can do. Because Mitsune's biggest weak spot, obviously, is that nice, lovely face crest area. So that's where we're going to want to be targeting our sticky ammo on. So this will hopefully be able to give you a pretty good demonstration of what this armor is capable of. As for what you would want to do for your customization of Bowgun, unless you are godly at dodging, which I particularly am okay at when it comes to a very heavy artillery type of weapon with this, you could, in theory, if you wanted to, go for the attack increase modifier. What I would personally recommend if you're new to the heavy bowgun, which is something I actually did here, is I am actually using the auto guard modifier, which means if you're standing still and you're not like firing off the weapon, you can actually block the shots as long as you have stamina, but the stamina burns very quickly, so keep that in mind. Okay, so what we're going to do here, see, I was able to block there thanks to the shield, so that's why it's really good to run that. I'm going to try to target the face. Obviously, I'm going to be a bit more conservative with my sticky ammo, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to switch to shrapnel right now, trying to find the good sweet spot. All right, there we go. That's the sweet spot. You see all those numbers coming off, so that's kind of what you want to be with this particular monster for. You could even move it further back if you need to. Okay, so right now I'm going to switch to sticky because it's staying mobile enough, or stationary for that matter, so I'm going to fire 2 sticky shots off. I'm going to kind of wait for them to explode before I start seeing if I need more. Okay, I need another one. Let's fire it off. I'm going to wait a second. Okay, it knocked itself down, but I actually wasted one. Now you go into cluster bomb, target the facial area because that's where you're going to be doing the maximum amount of damage. Also, you'll be able to get easy part breaks. So see, this is really where you want to be chucking these cluster bombs. Chuck as many as you can. When you see that it's going to actually get up, obviously don't continue chucking. Switch back to the method that I'm showing you right here, where you go sticky ammo into the face. Then, whenever you can and you see that it's too far away, just go shrapnel. And if it's very close and you're out of sticky and cluster, that's when you're going to really want to use your spread ammo. I'm going to switch to spread ammo because it's a good opportunity there. The good thing about spread ammo, too, that really isn't talked too much about, is if you're close enough, you can actually knock down the monster kind of like a slugger effect. Because obviously this is a big shotgun, so it's going to be doing a lot of damage, and it has kind of that pushback. I got to actually move back here a little bit, because if I don't heal, this will actually kill me very easily, which I don't like to see taking unnecessary dust. It is a possibility, though. This is a pretty heavy hitter, particularly with this armor set. Okay, I'm going to use my shrapnel ammo because it wants to just play the keep away game. Okay, actually, I'm going to switch here. I did Pierce. So Pierce is not really going to do too much damage here, but it's good for when you need to like hit it from a distance and the shrapnel is now available. We're going to switch to Spread. We're going to go directly here for the head. As you can see, it knocks it down super fast. We're going to continue to do Spread level 3 here. We're going to target, obviously, the head. Reason for this is we're trying to get the part breaks. On top of that, as you can see, you have a very decent chance of actually getting KOs on the monster. And we don't even have Slugger in this particular armor set. And we also have Spare Shot. If you could get Spare Shot level 2, actually pretty handy. You'd have to mess around really with the gems. Like I say, I personally think you need Precise, because it allows you to get a little further away from the monster and still be able to do the maximum type of damage with your particular ammo, which is nice to be able to fire. Like, for example, here, I could move even further back, and I'd be able to get probably good shrapnel damage. Mitsuni is going to run away here, so what we're going to do is kind of heal up a little bit if we need to. No, we don't. I actually have a good cat now, so I actually fired the last one, got a better one. It's a good healing cat. Obviously, guys, this is something that's not really mentioned too much. When you want your palicos to use their special abilities more frequently, particularly like when you're monster fights, you need to, as you see there on the bottom screen next to my potion, use the Fellvine. The Fellvine will make them use their special abilities more frequently. So if you have a healer cat in particular, that is definitely something you want to do. This one in particular is pretty good. Way better than what I had. So it actually does a better job at healing me. It drops bubbles. Has the herb little thing that you can open up for the area effect healing. Alright. I'm going to do a Wyvern Snipe. This is not particularly great for the heavy bowgun, this particular gen. So you could also charge up your ammo. The only problem with charging up your ammo is there's not too many situations where it comes in very handy. You probably preferably want to just go ham on the monster, case in point here, where you could get a lot more damage off by firing those shots more frequently, as opposed to just charging up the shot all the way maximum to just do extra damage. It's really not worth it. I don't understand really the point of the charge-up shots for the heavy bowgun. I was hoping they were going to kind of fix that in the 2.0 update. No, they didn't. Let me dodge out of the way here. I do have to heal up a little bit. I'm going to stand back because obviously Mitsuni does not have range from here. And I got to reposition myself. I thought I was going to jump that way, so let me be very cautious here because it will kill me if I'm not careful. Yeah, I might actually take a death here. I got to be careful. I'm going to run very far back. Watch the beam. Sometimes the monsters like to get cute, case in point there, and they don't really give you too much time to recover. So that's one of the drawbacks of having a heavy bowgun. Since we're not as mobile as the light bowgun, we are a very slow-moving type of target where it's easy to hit us out of certain things if we're not good setup. Okay, block that. This is where that auto guard that I was recommending comes in handy, because you can block certain shots. I gotta jump out of here. I'm gonna jump off the wall and max potion right in front of him. Kind of like a little bit of a newbie boo. And as you saw there, it's just being super hyper aggressive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to get off my last sticky. Alright, that was good timing on my part. And we'll go back to Shrapnel. I'm going to try to avoid getting a hit here. Easier said than done. Going to go that Mega Potion. We definitely need it here. Obviously, I'm soloing this. In a group of 4, you would be able to pin down the monster a little bit better, but case in point, I do not edit my videos like some of the other Monster Hunter creators out there, so everything you see is being done in high rank, not trying to pass off low rank monsters as high rank monsters and then saying that I'm doing a speed run and killing something with a heavy bowgun in like 2 minutes, because I have seen that actually from content creators where they do a village quest and pass it off as if that's actually a high rank monster, which is not. Okay. We're going to move back a little here. Got to move back a little bit here. Let's get a little bit of distance going so it could heal. All right, we're going to switch back now to exhaust ammo because this monster is getting a little too big for its britches. So one of the good things with the Magnamalo is we do have option of exhaust. So if things get too hairy, you need to just kind of pin the monster down and slow it down. Case in point there. We can do it with exhaust and then go back to going shrapnel and spread. We're going to go shrapnel here because that's a nice sweet spot. Look at all this damage we're hitting for right now because we're in the perfect position for that. We're going to switch now to our slicing ammo, which does a nice little spread effect as well. All right, as you can see, the monster is getting KO'd quite a bit. So that's basically what really the heavy bowgun for the Magnamalo is really good at. It's good at knocking down monsters. It's good at doing spread damage. It's good at doing anything that has like spread type, AoE type of damage going off. It cannot pierce very well, so you can't really just stand back and fire away with pierce. I do have a build that I'm working on for pierce heavy bowgun, which you have to do the maxed out Ragna Kadachi particular. That's that giant flaming spider thing, so that's what I'm working on for the future installment. Haven't had a chance to finish that build as of yet because obviously a new update gave an extra tree for that weapon, so I had to test it out. As you can see, we're doing fine here, so right now we're running out of our ammo, so we're just going to stand back and just fire off our Pierce Freeze. Our Pierce Freeze really are just there to kind of mitigate the gap that we have sometimes when we run out of ammo. Subsequently, if you want to, you could actually carry some blast nuts with you and the crafting materials, and you could keep crafting sticky ammo free and cluster bombs. The problem with that in particular is you're going to run out of resources very fast for that, and you have to dedicate then your cat farm, which is basically via the trader, to just farming that particular type of ammos, which would then kind of leave you in a position where you might not be able to get infinite potions and mega potions, which I think is more important long-term for hunting as opposed to the ammo. So we're going to show you what happens when you have to just kind of use whatever's left. So we're going to go Pierce, level 3. It's also good still for breaking parts because obviously it's Pierce damage. So we're going to fire off more of the Pierce rounds. We're just going to stand here because this is the nice sweet spot. I'll move a little closer in case it tries to back up. So as you can hear, it's trying to back up. So there's all that damage there. Meaty. Look at all that super critical hits that we're firing off. Okay, so keep that in mind. Same strategy here. We're just going to stand here and fire off as much Pierce as we can. It's very exhausted because, remember, I fired off exhaust, and then I went to this as my backup plan for when my spread and shrapnel and everything else wore off, or I was out of it for that matter, so keep that in mind. And we took down the Mitsuni without any cards. A little bit hairy, but that's a pretty significantly decent clear time for a heavy bowgun that's solo. In a group of 4, let's say you had 3 light bowgun users and you were the heavy bowgun user, you probably will be able to clear this within maybe 3 to 4 minute clear time. If you're in a room with melee weapons, it's kind of good because you can knock down the monster and stay pretty far away. The only problem is that with cluster bombs, you have the chance of tripping and blowing up your partners in the room, which they kind of frown upon. So primarily, if you're going to use this for online play and multiplayer, my recommendation would be to use it with just gunners. If you try to use this with melee weapon users and you don't know when to cluster bomb, effectively you probably are going to kind of upset them and they're going to be tripping around and being knocked back and everything, which is generally frowned upon. But basically, that's what the Magnamalo heavy bowgun's good for. It's very good for sticky cluster spam, and then you just spread and think, oh, look at that. We even got a Mitsuni orb and a plate all in one run. And I didn't actually eat for anything to give me extra reward, so that was a happy little benefit of doing this particular run here. So on top of that, we destroyed all the parts effectively. That's what this does good. All right, so that was a 10-minute clear time. In a group of 4, we probably would do this within 3 to 4 minute clear time, depending on the weapons that we're using. As always, a like and subscribe are greatly appreciated as it helps the channel grow, and I will see you on Monday for the next Monster Hunter Rise video.